Hello, and welcome to episode 32 of the Sketchbook. Tonight we are going to be going back to these concept buildings. So last week we did 32 concept buildings, and this week until Friday, so today and tomorrow, we will be doing 16 each day, with the intent of having 64 concept buildings all in all before the 1st of June, when the giveaway starts, which, in case you don't know already, so I am giving away a portrait painting to one lucky follower. Each follower gets a lottery ticket, and for every 30 minutes a follower is in my stream while I'm live, they will receive an additional ticket. And today and tomorrow are the last 2 days to ramp up these amounts of tickets that you will have in the end. So I think that was about it for the advertisement. So be sure to follow. You will automatically be in the draw in 2 days for this portrait painting, which I will draw live for you. It can be anything you want, as long as it's not racist, homophobic, or pornographic. And you will specifically have the rights to use it as, for example, your profile picture or something like that, or your background picture, or whatever you want to do with it. So let's get started, I guess. I will put on some music in the background. Today I'm trying something new, so I will actually have music in the background. It's mashup music, so either Twitch won't mark it as me using copyrighted music, or then they will, and they will mute out everything. Doesn't matter, because the YouTube channel, I am recording for that one, and I will, as always, put up the recording immediately after this. And I think I have configured it ops now so that I don't record the music while I'm recording. So cool. Now I just hope that the microphone is then there, otherwise I'll have to do a voiceover for what it is today. So today, as I said, we are going to be doing these concept sketches of buildings, and second last day for you to ramp up the tickets for the giveaway on Friday. And be sure to follow me, like my channel, it's free. You can even just turn off this notification that when I go live, then it's practically like I'm not there, but it helps me with the follows. Of course, if you want, you can also subscribe, I believe. There should be a subscription thing. Actually, that's weird. I do not have the subscription thing on today. Maybe it's because I'm already a subscriber myself. But anyways, I should have the subscription stuff as well. And from next month, I will be doing a giveaway for both followers and subscribers. And the one, it will work in the way that the subscribers one will be drawn first, and it doesn't matter how long you have been there. And the follower one, I will then giveaway, and the subscribers are automatically part of that one as well. Obviously the same subscriber can't win both of them. I'm not gonna draw this draw for the same person 2 times within the same month. Yes, so I think that's about it, and I can see my camera should probably be focused now. Boom, boom, boom. That's how we do it, I guess. So, I'm going to quickly go over into Photoshop, and then let's get started. So, as I said, the music taste for today is mashups, and I used to use this playlist a lot when I was sitting and programming. So I thought, why not use it for this as well. So, Photoshop. I am going to go through really quickly what we have been doing with buildings and what I have been doing on the site after that as well. So, as you know, I started the first day of these concept buildings by making 16 blobs, basically, of some form of I don't even know what to call it. So, but after I did that, hold on. After I made these silhouettes, I guess you could call them, I started filling them in with some shapes that I found interesting, and then it became different buildings. And the first day I did these 16, and then the next I did these. Then I picked out a couple that I wanted to investigate a little further, let's say it like that. And I started by doing this. And here I use this kind of like skewing to draw these buildings really quickly. Then I use some texture mapping, skewed texture mapping to fit into it so that it kind of became something really fast. And then I actually, on my own, I'll turn this one off. I went into to Houdini, and I modeled really quickly the way that I saw it. I'll turn up the opacity. So I basically just modeled it, and then I took a screenshot of it. I didn't feel like rendering it. And then I imported it in here, and this was the model. And I kind of like started to get this sense of it would be cool if there was, you know, a middle section here that was empty, and maybe there in the bottom of these there, I don't know, there is like a inner garden or inner park or something like that. And I modeled these staircases that are tunnels between them, as you can see here. And then let's see, then I cleaned up this sketch into something a little better. And then for the inner ones, since it has it's shorter, I decided to do one with only 3. So that's what I did there. Hope you can follow it so far. Then I started by adding just the area for the park. Now I'll turn this one down so that you can see it. There. So you can see I added just like where the park would be. In case I someday want to make this a illustration, then I have marked off the park already. And finally I did some cleanup, and then it became this. So this was the final, I wouldn't call it illustration, but more kind of like cleaned up drawing. And you can see that on the inside there's like there's like apartments as well, and I didn't mark for where the exits were, but that could be done as well really easily. Okay, so that's what I've been doing on it on my own. Unfortunately, I've been sick, so I haven't really had the inclination to sit down in front of the computer while I was having a fever and stuff like that. So you're gonna have to live without that today. Now I have to check here really quickly. Okay. So let's open up the last page, which is the one we will be doing today. So again, I am going to start off with making these silhouettes, 16 of them, and then after that I'm going to start finding shapes in them. And let's see, I'm going to start actually by it's always a good thing to start with. So I am, hold on, yeah. Boop. I am going to start by writing the project and like project information and date so that I know what it's for. So I know that this is for project Eon. No. And to date, no, let's first say what it is. It is building. I cannot write. Let's try this again. Building complexes. And it is the 30th. I know you Americans don't like this, but we Europeans, we have the date first. Actually, let's take the year first, then no one can complain. So 2018, and month and date. Thank you, Fatman Lek, for the host. What a wonderful way to start this this day. As I have just been saying, I am going to be doing today 16 new buildings. I am going to be doing them like this or like this. So basically what we will start with is that I will make 16 silhouettes, and then I will start sketching them out and seeing if I can find some interesting shapes. Let's say it like that. So last time I did this, I used this selection tool, and I practically just selected some random shapes. Today is a little bit different because we know that it's going to be building complexes. So it's going to be high buildings that are usually square, and they are going to be using as much space as possible in order for each apartment. So they will be heavily packed with apartments, and the outside is what we can see. Obviously, we are not gonna be drawing them from the inside, and this is only concept sketches. So it's only to look at different ideas of how a build, like a living complex, would be. So I'm going to start here. We practically know that that it could be square, and I'm going to add and where all of the interesting parts kind of like come are the form surrounding that. I was thinking, now I'll just do it like this, and some over here as well, just to break up these shapes that are here. And we could actually even add some here and figure out later what that would be. So I'm now going to fill that with the foreground color, and that's the first shape. Then, one second, then after that we are going to do another one. And let's have a little bit more interesting shape. Maybe I will even actually select this one and move it a little further over to here, because we need to have 4 next to each other, so would be good to get some room. The next one, I think actually this random shape thing would probably be, so I'm just gonna draw something. I don't know what it's gonna be, but we will figure it out. That will be tonight's thing. Yeah, that's fine. Let's try that. And it doesn't show anything right now, like what it's going to be, obviously. But if you look here, like some of these shapes, I'm not actually going to be using all of it. It's only in order to find some shapes that I like. And here, let's do like, why did that remove itself? Like this, and maybe like this, and should we have like a thing here? Yeah, let's do that. Would be cool if there was like some script to do this stuff for me. Let's try something like that. That was 4, so we need 12 more, but that shouldn't be a problem. See what that can become. It's going to be interesting. Yes, so as I was saying, to begin with, today and tomorrow are the last 2 days to enter the competition of the June giveaway. So what that means is all followers of my stream will be in a giveaway and have a chance to win a portrait painting that I will paint for you. And the way it works is when you're a follower, you get your first ticket just by following, and then for every half an hour you are watching me live, you get an additional ticket. And if you win, then I will contact you and I will ask for a picture that you want me to draw. And it can be of you or your child or your favorite animal, or your favorite character from a movie or from a video game or from, well, it can be anything as long as it's not pornographic, racist, or homophobic. Let's see. So that was like 10. So we are missing 6 more. And let's see. And I am just going about this totally random. The first one was not random, and it was a little too predictable, and that is the reason why I'm trying to do it as random as possible. To cut down on the predictability. So that's 12. 4 more, and then we will start on the sketches. These I can make a little bit bigger. I guess. Oh. No, I made them too big. Let's take these two and cut them down in size a little bit. Just so that we have room for the last one. And then we can take this one and move it over. Once I'm finished with this, I am going to take a I'm going to make the opacity like low, so that we can still see the background, but the background does, like this being the background, but the background doesn't interfere with the sketching. So now that we have them here, I'm going to cut it down to maybe 25. And you can see they almost disappear, but not quite. So that's the idea. And give me a second. And then of course we also have to remember to drink some of this delicious coffee. So cheers. If you do not like the music, then let me know and I will try and change it. But as I said, this is what I have been using as background music while programming for a long time. So I don't actually listen to it anymore. It's just kind of like this background noise to me. Let's quickly save. There. And I'll take the first row and then I'll take a break for 5 minutes, and then we will do the rest of them, and that will be it for tonight. So the first one, there is an obvious form, and it was kind of the reason why I decided to do it more random. And now I'm instantly trying to destroy this form that was given to us for free. So I'm thinking, like, for example, something along the lines of maybe some of the apartments on the other side goes out a little, like they have a balcony like that, and it would kind of be the same on this side then. and go up a little and then out. There was like 2 of those, so should try and keep it roughly in the same way there, and then it would go over here. And as always, I have not warmed up yet, which means that my lines will be a little sketchy to begin with. But since this is sketches, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now that we have kind of like the things around, we can start to think about like this. So this would go in a little, since it's this one, and they could actually even be connected. That could be kind of like the entrance area to this, and the first, or the ground floor, I guess it would be. And then it would go up a little bit and be connected again to this one. You can kind of see how things start to fall into place automatically. And here it would go up a little and then out and then back in, which is then like here and here and here. And I on purpose made it go a little bit on an angle. And the reason I did that was that when I connect these, it's not gonna look like, that would be here. It shouldn't look too much like it's only one side that goes out, but actually both sides, right? So that was really bad. Continue here to there, and this one as well to there. And now when we make this one up, see, now it looks like it's going out on both sides, like this out. And that was the intention. I promise it was the intention. Okay, next, this one, and then this one, and again, see here, it goes out more straight. So we're basically going to be hiding this line already with the line from this that goes on top. It goes over there, and this should go out instead like this in a more straight. And here we won't be able to see much of it either. We'll just do like that. And again, now I'll turn this a little. Again, we'll add these in, and this one will have to go in like that, so that you can see that it goes in on both sides. And again here, and finally here, and then it will go up and connect with the top of the roof. And I could imagine in something like this, of course the perspective is not completely perfect, and that doesn't matter again, because if when I'm going to be using this in my graphics novel, I'm going to model it in Houdini, and I'm going to use, like in I'm going to be using it like this one again, in order to get everything correct, and then I might even texture map it, simply because I'm trying to cut away as much work as possible when it comes to a graphics novel. It's more about the idea. And here we clearly have an idea. Of course, this would be, it should follow that line that is up here, and there should be equal amounts of room here and here and here and so forth, you know. But this is once again just a sketch, and I want to add these. So on top of a lot of buildings, there is these boxes that has kind of like the air conditioning for the whole house, and I want to add those. So I'll add a box here, and then I know that that's one of these air conditioning boxes, especially when I remove this so that it looks like a box. Have a little bigger there. So now we have that box, and then I'm going to add these circular kind of like fan areas. And now I know what it is. And the reason why I can get away with so little information on it is because I'm using kind of like a language that, like a visual language that we all know. And I'll add one more here, because maybe I'll even add like a small door. No, I won't actually add a door, because if I add a door, then I'm automatically showing how big the scale is, and I don't really want to think about scale right now. This is just the idea phase. Again, once I will build it, then I'll start to think about scale. And I was thinking maybe this could be kind of like a different color. So I will mark it quickly with some like this, and that will show me that it's a different material at least. There. So let's say that's that one, and over here I'll just add a little more weight to the line, so that it, yeah, and a thicker lower line. I've talked about this before, and I will do it again. So I always add a thicker line in the bottom. It makes the thing look heavy in the bottom, and that will make it look like it's standing already on something. Like our brain tells us that you know, this can't be like floating in the air. Then this line down here wouldn't be so dark. Also because if it's standing on the ground, then there will be like an area where there is no light, right? So that was that one. And the next one I went a little nuts with to overcompensate for this one being so normal. So I'm quickly looking at the shapes. And I think actually roughly what I have drawn here could work as a shape for a building. And hold on, then I will show you why. Yes, so now I'll show you why. So I am thinking of this one. I will make a little bit of adjustments on it, obviously. So let's see, this one goes roughly up to here. So I'm making like the opposite side the same, and if there is one, we draw one here, it means that there will be one here as well. And it's all about perception, like how we see this building. Thank you XDRX Beast for the follow. You are now part of the giveaway on Friday, and much appreciated. So I am kind of thinking of it if we have the center here, right? So everything we are looking at it from the top and down, and that means that all the lines will be going towards it. So now I will do that like really quickly, just with some shitty lines basically, and then I will redraw those lines, or some of them at least. So this goes towards there, and this goes this way, and those we can see. So this is like a 1-point perspective from the top of the building. And now we can start adding these lines a little bit, not so subtle anymore. Now we know roughly to where they should go. And then, oh, it didn't rotate. And then after that, we can start to say these lines are going to be following the shape up here if it still has the same shape, right? So, oh, that one goes to there and there. So we can almost not see the end of this building, and all of this down here would be in shadow, or it would be like dark, and then as we come up it becomes brighter. There. So now we kind of know how this building would look. And then up here there would obviously be like, again, some boxes and maybe some buildings. And actually one idea that I like taking from these both Norwegian and Icelandic old huts that we were drawing the other day is to have kind of like these green areas up in the on the roof, since, as I have said before, but I love to repeat it, the idea behind my graphics novel is that mankind lives on a big spaceship and is traveling between the Milky Way and the Andromeda galaxy. And when you're in a closed environment like that, you need to have as much green area as possible to recycle the air. They actually use other things to recycle the air as well. They have these big tanks of water with these microbes that or algae that turns CO2 into air. Okay, so that was that one. And then this one we drew a little bit differently, and I can immediately see kind of like I got an idea. So let's do like, first of all, like this, and then let's have the opposite here. And then let's do like, it should be coming out to the same area, so let's do like this and remove this one, and then remove a little bit here in the middle, because I want there to be a gap. In the form, and I want it to actually be like this. I don't know why, but just an idea that I had. Okay, and then the top would be here, so it's almost like a cylinder. Let's actually make it more like a cylinder there in the bottom, and then have some action lines that defines how that there is a shape as well. And this would, that would maybe even be a parking area, who knows. I like this one. And I actually wanted to have kind of like this band around. No, I have to see. So yeah, okay. That's, it's more like this, and then the band is here, and likewise I want that band to be so that there is like these four big, you could almost even imagine it being like some form of magnet or something like that that keeps the building in place there. Yeah, I like that one. And let's do like this so that we have a little bit of form in that. The next one, I have to think. So this will be the last one before I take a break. And I can see there would be an immediate roof here. And I would probably even extend the roof a little bit, because we want to make it as rectangular as possible. It's again this design language of living area buildings. And let's actually do like, give it the roof a depth. I want it only to go to here. I don't want it to be too thick a roof. I don't know why. Just what comes to me. Thinking. No, I don't actually like that. I think I will go a different direction with that one. So we'll just delete it, and now we can start again. Because I think I want to use this form instead. And I want to use it, let's see, I want an elevator type of thing here on the outside. And fire escape or whatever. I'll do it like this. And then this would be the back, and this would come over, and it would go down here then, roughly. And I want this to be kind of like this stair in a way. And these would then be rows of apartments, because that's what we are doing. We are doing well, building complexes, but apartment complexes. Let's write that instead. Apartment complexes, right? So let's rotate this to a good position for me to do stairs. I'll just add this back line of the stairs, or actually it's part of the apartment roof it becomes. So one can imagine that a whole line of apartments is here, like this. Let's see, so there, and so forth. And this would, of course, actually be straight then. Let's see, it's this back line and this back line and so forth. And that would be apartments here. Yeah, I like that. I'm not sure. I might have to add something here because it looks a little too straight in some way. So that was the first the first 4. And I will take a quick break, and when I come back I will continue with the next 12. So be right back. I'll probably turn down the music a little bit. And be right back. And we're back. So let's take the last 12. This was a really weird form, and I'm going to see if I can find some form of form in it that I like for an apartment building. If you have just joined me, I am doing apartment buildings today, and I'm kind of I almost have an idea for it, and I think I'll just start drawing it, and then if it doesn't work, then we'll try something else. So I was thinking something along the lines of this. It has to be further down and hook up with that one. And the same here. And again, I'm not really concerned with the perspective that much, but of course it's always good to try and have it as correct as possible. I was thinking something along the lines of this. And let's see, because I feel like I could maybe add some detailing up here. Let's see. So I'm kind of like thinking how to break up these big areas. Like with, for example, adding an extra area here. You will see me do this time and time again, where I add kind of like additions, like I add or subtract. A subtraction would be, for example, if we were to add a hole here, and then it would be that way, so it would be now we have subtracted a part. And I am actually thinking whether I should go one step further in here and then subtract the middle of it. I kind of like that idea, and obviously it's reminiscent of the building that I showed to begin with, where I decided to subtract a part in the middle of the building. So I think I'll do that on this one as well. And then from there we would have these parts that go down that kind of show that, and this these two lines, three lines, would be thicker, just to show that there is something behind. And we could even shade a little bit, and that will also add this idea that it's hollow. And then, for example, there would be apartments here on the inside as well. And actually on this one, let's make kind of like a, could be the marking of the house. So this would be the F house, for example, and that would be like many of this type. And that would be like some walking path around the building. And let's, as I said, make this ground area a little thicker, because it kind of gives a certain weight to the ground. So that would be one. I have to say I actually like that one. Like the idea of it. It's simple yet very functional, and we can even, now when I said that I like it, I think I will add these windows that gives a sense of scale. So what I do is I just add these lines like this, and then I start to erase. And what we are left with is like an indication of windows that where people are living. And we could do the same on this side and this side. This would probably be the entrance. We could even have like, yeah, that it kind of just like this, and the same here. See, starting to really like this one. And now by removing some of these, again, we get kind of like these windows that gives a sense of how scale. And finally on this side as well. take some of them away. And now it looks like kind of like a start of that someone lives there, right? Okay, next one. I don't know yet. I will start adding some lines and then see if something pops out for me. Like, let's see, take this down here. So this one would be pretty large. No, I would want to make it on one side. Yeah. Be here. Yeah. And then it's just a matter of adding these lines again. And add this thicker line in the bottom again. Like that. Yeah, I think that would actually be enough for that one. So then the next one. Maybe, I don't know. Again, just putting in some lines and then hoping that something comes out of it. Be kind of like that. No, that would go out here. So I'm just trying some different things and seeing if something will stick. See. Not entirely sure why would design a living area like this, but there we go. Thank you, Fatman Lek, again for the hosting. Much appreciated, mate. It's hard enough for us that don't play to get viewers, so thanks a lot. I'm still doing these sketches for buildings, like concept sketches, and I'm here with this one. I started out with a pretty weird form, so I'm kind of like trying to figure out something interesting that it could be. Maybe there is like a cut in there. And I was thinking kind of like instead of these air conditioning things, then here would be these kind of exhausts on the, it could even be kind of like a housing with a factory, and could imagine that people live right next to the factory that are working there. That's kind of like what I'm thinking with this one. Maybe that one goes down there, and I think that will be it for that one. So we will make this thicker line in the bottom in order to get it to weigh something again. And now it's on the, and then add some form of path around it, just to this doesn't work. It would go more like this, just to kind of like give a little bit of so that it fits into an environment, for example, is what I'm thinking. So next, I'm thinking, oh, let's fix that. Let's just do like that, and then let's see. So I'm kind of thinking this part could go again here. It would make a cool thing that is like attached to a building. I don't know what it would be, but let's put it there, and then can start to think about what it could be. So there will be, let's say there is like a thin area here, and then as we come down here it would be thicker. I think many times with this music, so it's mashup music, and I think a lot of times mashup music can be kind of fun, but I don't know if I like this. I think they have kind of ruined Metallica. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so let's say there is like this. I'm still thinking what that could be. And then let's attach it to a building now. So I'm adding kind of like this this back part where it's kind of like attached. I actually like it. It's weird music, but cool. And since it is a living building, let's add some windows. I'll just do it like this, and then by erasing, we start to see windows coming out. And there would be on this side as well. Now I'll do it really quickly. There. And I don't know what this would be, but maybe it would go in. Hey, yeah. Oh. Oh, that would be cool, I think. This would actually go this way. So that would be a building with this inwards where a house or apartments are. Interesting. And again, I will add this thicker line in the bottom. There. Then there is this next one. So now we have done the first 6, and I think I like a lot of them actually. Today it seems like maybe only the first one is really boring. Let's see. Let's see here. What can we do with this one? I'm kind of thinking a little about doing like this one, but it seems like if it's a little too easy in some way. So no. Yeah. Yes. let's see, it would be down to so 2 buildings. Where one is standing in front of the other. Let's see, this one would come out here. No, would come out a little behind, like this. That gives a space in between them. This number is apparently called Maiden Goes to Bollywood. What a travesty. And we will again add this thicker line here in the bottom, and then we will start filling it out. Like I want to add something extra to it. So I'm thinking about actually cutting a hole into it. And that would practically already have added a hole into that one. And then yeah, and then after that we could add like a road here, or a stream actually, yeah, a stream. That would explain why there is a hole into it. And then we could add this walking path around it, and maybe there is like a bridge over. Yeah, that was that one. And finally, let's. I've kind of forgotten to add these thingies. There. Okay. Let's add again these windows. same on this on these sides. It's kind of the detailing. Let's do the same here. There. Just add, and then let's do it here as well. Oops. No. I think that will be enough for that one, and we will move to the next one. Let's see. Whoa. What is this? Okay, so I have a little bit of an idea for this one, and the idea is to have this be the lower part. And let's see. So this would go up like this. This one would follow. Would be there and there and there and there and there and there and there. Like that. maybe it continues up actually here, just to make it more interesting. Or even, actually, maybe it doesn't continue up straight. That would be kind of like boring. So let's mark this off and say that it goes up like this instead. Let's remove these so that we can see what we are dealing with here. And then let's add a little bit of details. No, that will be enough. We know that this will be like that. Next. I'm just trying something here. Yeah. Here I'm actually drawing a little bit of inspiration from something that I used to live in. Hold on. Let's add one more over here. Do we need more? No, I think that will be enough to show the idea. Let's have like an extra area there for if we want to add a park. And again, we'll just quickly add these windows. Not gonna use too much energy on those, like that. Just a little bit to kind of like give an idea. The next one. Again, just trying something. Bum, 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 bum. I'm not entirely sure if that would work. No. let's say it would mean that this would look kind of like that. We have seen that shape before, definitely, and we have definitely also seen this shape before. Oh. And then let's say that behind them, oh, let's quickly add this. We want to add a elevator and a, so I'm trying to split up this one in order to make it a little more interesting than just a box. We'll do this F again because it's an easy letter to add, and it kind of like already shows something of the what the idea is. This would probably end there. So now I'll draw up the lines again, just so that we know which lines to use. And these lines would be thicker in the bottom. And maybe there would be a bridge here, or a tunnel, like the old ones, right? And this one I want add a H. Very bad H. Let's see. Maybe we'll have this this cut in the middle of this one, like we had on the other ones. No. And now we kind of already know this how this one goes. Again, just trying to split up these areas And since we already know how this one would look, then might as well do it straight away, right? Next one is this one. And I was thinking that this is kind of like this parking area for all of them. And then there would be, let's say there is a big P here for parking. And then let's say that's that one. Now I'm really running out of ideas now, so it's good that there's only 4 left. Next one here. This next one I want to turn around. There. And the reason I want to do that is because I'm thinking of this as the roof of a big building. Hold on. So I'm thinking of this as a roof. So I will add it as a roof now. Of course I could have done it from the bottom as well, but I thought it would be simpler to just do it from here instead, and then downwards. Thank you FB Red Robbins for following my channel, much appreciated. And you are now one of the people who is in the competition for the giveaway. So I'm thinking that I will extend these down like this, and I'll extend them a good way down, so that when I start adding the bottom, then there will be enough. So maybe even down to this frame for this one, which means we will see something here and something here. Now I'm adding that that thicker line straight away. Just so that it's done. There. Next. This one could be fun, even though I don't think that anyone would actually make a housing complex like this, but I just want to do it just because it would be an interesting concept, I think. So I will add it. That would be more like this. And this would be like this round thing or oval thingy. I'll actually continue there roughly, and it would be more rounded, so it would more be like here and here. Well, that would be a little too much, so let's say here. There. And then add a shadow here. So it would kind of like be stuck on that. And then it would probably be connected up here in the top. So we have to cut over and not actually show this. And this would go up on this side to here probably. And it would come out on the other side here. If you think of a microscope, that's kind of the form in a sense that I'm thinking. And it would actually be connected here and in here. So this would stick out. And let's give it a little extra ground part. Say we could see a little of that. I don't know why, but could be an interesting research facility where laboratory workers would live or something. I think. Now cut away a little bit of these areas that are very flat. There. this one. Let's remember to drink something before we continue. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so we have had all of these very consistently non-weird forms, and I think the last two here I want to experiment a little extra with. So this was easy, right? But now I'm thinking, what if it then continues up like this? And let's end it there, but then it has this for the rich people. Again, we're adding a thick line here because it's attached there. And let's actually cut it into pieces and add this middle section. And here is the, again, adding this thing surrounding it, whether it's like walking paths or a street area, depending on how big the building is. Let's add some shadow here. Just okay. Let's say that's that one. Here I'm kind of like thinking, what if we see these buildings in profile? Let's say this one, and since it's profile, no wait, this one will be going further. The idea is to have the smaller one like this here, and then a bigger one, and then a even bigger one, and then for example this one has a marking A, B, and then C building. like this, right? That would be cool. And then let's add the windows. And I'll just do it on these big flats. So we are coming up on 2 hours, and that fits well with stopping for tonight. As I said, I have just been sick, so I don't want to overdo it. And I think after this I am actually gonna go and see either Ghost in the Shell, the original anime, of course, or the original manga, or then I am gonna go and see Akira. And let's add just a little bit of shade here to kind of show that one is in front of the other. Like that. So let's look quickly at what we got in the end. So this was, I will write it again here. So this was Project Eon. It's kind of like if there's missing some smoothing or something like that. My lines are really not steady at all. It's weird. Where's all my smoothing? $2018, and it was 05 and the 30th. I really don't like that. Let's see. Part meant complexes. Yeah, Project Eon. Save. And now that will be it for tonight. I want to thank you all for showing up and watching this. I hope you have learned something or have had fun at least, and I hope that the music hasn't been too bad. If it has, then let me know and I will put a different type of music on tomorrow. So with that, have a nice evening and hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye.